Testing English course, where preparation...
I have spent my time for holiday.
Okay, you have done your holiday and you have spent your time for
Just
holiday,
prepare for my test
right?
and courses.
So that's great. So you improve yourself in terms of the English language, and of course, in a purpose of having better understanding as well as, like having the target score, right, Mr. Lovensa?
Yeah.
And yes, that's great. That's great to know. And I think I am also in my best condition right now. I hope the signal is okay as well from your side. And my side,
Yeah.
the signal is maybe okay for now,
Yeah,
but we
good.
don't know in the coming 30 minutes or 1 hour. Okay, today we're gonna discuss the PTE, the continuation of our discussions. We have done going on with the familiarity tests, and I think today is the best time for us to maybe discuss the part one of the speaking of the PTE, so that you jump directly to the practice, and let's see how maybe you try to do the best as you can, right? So let's see. So before we get in further, Mr. Lofensa, I sent you the link to learn about the tips and tricks, and I think maybe you have some time to check that tips and tricks for the PTE, or you haven't had a time.
Oh, yeah. For my email.
Not in your email. Tips and trick of PTE on our group, I believe. Last night they created the groups. Let me
check.
just remark the things. Okay. This one. If you have some time, I said this one.
Yeah. Our group.
Yeah, that. If you have some spare time, I want you to read this before our next class.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's okay. This is only for tips and no worries. I mean, no need to be worrying much about that, Mr. Offensa. But today, this is more on student centered. I will not talk too much today, because you are going to be the one who handled the class. I'm going to see whether you can do it nicely, or maybe you need some improvement about the speaking part one of the PTE Academic, Mr. Offensa. Let me just start with the PTE Academic. So we have to. I believe you can see my shared screen, Mr. Lovensa.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Thank you for your confirmations. And okay, right. So this is the PTE Academic infographic, Mr. Lovensa, that we are going to have like 3 parts, but for the skill, there are 5 skills tested. So for the parts, will be 3 parts. Remember that speaking and writing always come at the first spot and they come together, okay, Mr. Lovensa?
Yeah.
They will not be separated. So when you have done the speaking directly, you will not have any notices from them that you are going to do the writing. They will show you, this is the writing task I asked you to write, and you have to do it that way. You have to do it when they ask you, right? So now we are going to focus on the speaking. So the first day is that the first meeting, which is the second meeting of us, which is the first meeting for the speaking, right? We're gonna do the read aloud, repeat sentence, and describing image. Okay, we're gonna do that 3 focus materials, Mr. Lovensa. The first, we're gonna spend around 15 to 20 minutes to discuss about read aloud, and we're gonna jump in to the repeat sentences, and we're gonna move on to the describe image. So I hope we can take 3 practices in 1 meeting. That is my hope, but I don't know whether this is going to be working or not. Let's see. Right. So before I show you the task, Mr. Lovensa, can you retell what I have told you last time about the read aloud? What are we asked to do during the read aloud task?
it's about reading the maybe stories or anything else, but uh, it's need my voice to load so that the EA can hear my voice.
Okay, so we are going to be given, right, a text about anything, as you said, maybe a story or something. And what we need to do is to only read aloud the story, right? Line
Yeah.
by line. Then, what are the things that we need to focus on while reading? I have taught you the things as well, I believe.
It's like the comma or
Oh,
sign
nice.
before the sentence or the paragraph also.
Okay. As well as the end of the words. If the end of the words is S, please make sure do not leave the S. Okay. For example,
Yeah.
washes and tables
Oh yeah.
and books,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
it will be
Remember.
so much influencing your school later on,
Yeah.
Mr. Lovensa. All right. So let us just go with the repeat sentence. So indeed, as you said, that in the read aloud, we need to pay attention to the punctuations or tanda baca in Indonesian language. So it can be
Yeah.
about comma, the full stop, the beginning of the paragraph, as well as the word stress, right? So the word stress, whether we need to go with academics or academic, right? So there will be some
Yeah.
word stress. Okay. So what about in the repeat sentence before we jump into the task? Can you tell me what do we need to do in the repeat sentence?
Repeat sentence. I think it's about the system. The system give the uh, maybe reading or something, and I have to repeat the sentence with my voices also.
Right. That is actually right. So we are going to hear something, right, from the recording or the audio. Then we
Yeah.
need to repeat exactly what it was saying. Okay. During our preparations, Mr. Lofensa, we are going to write out during our preparation only. But if you cannot repeat the whole sentence, maybe you can write it first, only for the preparations. But later on,
Mm.
make sure you repeat based on the provided audio. So you are not allowed to write during speaking. But for our preparations, we're going to do it by writing to see whether you can get the meaning or you can get the word, what was spoken in the word, what was mentioned, right? So the idea and everything. Right. It is completely, you are completely on track. What about describing image or describe image? So, Vincent?
Describing image is about how we tell about the image, include all of this the image, like maybe something that I see in the image, and tell about the amount or something that the image also.
That is great. Yes, it can be any image actually. So can be a business report. Usually it comes with a table image, can be a
Oh,
monthly
yeah.
income of a
Also,
company. Yes,
yeah,
can be also a mountain.
the data
Mr.
also. Yeah.
Yeah, can be also a data, as you said. Can be also a data of someone sells their phone or a company sells their sells their how they get their expenses and how they spend their expenses. That's what I'm trying to say. How they spend their expenses and how they go with the supply chain related things, right? So, and sometimes you also will experience or encounter a picture like a girl sitting on something, on let's say a chair in a garden. Then what you need to do is to describe everything that you see from that picture. Can be also a mountain, can be also a room, Mr.
Mhm.
Lopensa. So completely random image, but most of the cases you will get business report. Okay, Mr.
Oh,
Lopensa. Okay. Most of the
got
cases
it.
you will get that because only one students who confirm that they sorry, not one, yeah, maybe more than one, but for my students previously got a messy rooms with scattered books and everywhere, everything like not in the place. So this man was asked to describe the conditions. So that was what my students got from describing image. And I believe it is important to inform this to anybody who's taking the PTE Academic, so that they will know that not all business report will be there. Sometimes you will get one completely random picture, right, Mr. Offensa? Yes, so we're going to practice these three. Let us see. We're going to go with the first practice first aloud. Mr. Offensa, I hope maybe you can try to see what we have in here. Right. So this is the first sentence that we have for the practice purposes, Mr. Lofensa. And I want you to maybe read it for me. The tips is that you have to underline, or you have to notice which word that you are going to pronounce it a little bit harder compared to the word that you are familiar with, so that you will pronounce it nicely. Make sure the comma, as well as the full stop, as well as the SS at the end of the word can be heard very clear by the AI. So I'm going to be the human for now, but later on, I'm going to provide you with the AI. But it will maybe in the 5th meeting or in the 6th meeting, okay, Mr. Lofensa?
Okay.
For now, I'm going to hear whether our patients will be based on the structured way of how they structure the voice, the pronunciation, as well as the fluency. Let's see. If you could probably read me, maybe you can start, or you need some time to prepare.
Maybe I try to start now.
Okay. Right. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me try.
Okay. Take it easy, Mr. Yeah. Take it easy.
Yeah. Although the internet has transformed the way we communicate and access information, it has also raised concerns about privacy and data security. As people increasingly share personal information online, the risk of identity theft and misuse of data continues to grow, prompting governments and organizations to improve cybersecurity policies and regulations.
Okay. So for this way of reading, Mr. Lofensa, this is already well, I can say, but there are some parts of the pronunciation that you need to be fixed. But most of the cases of the pronunciation as well as the fluency, you can get around upper more than 30 for this kinds of reading. But to make it better, one, I want you to read again this one, Mr. Lopez.
Rise it.
Yeah. So exactly what I heard last time. Rise it. No, we don't pronounce it like that. We pronounce it raise without any ed. So why do we have ed, and why English should not why do we have ed, but why do we need not to read that? So and I'm confused of my explanation. Let me just write it for you. We have ed in some words, but we don't need to read that. So that is English. So we have jump, which means in a written format, jumped, right? Or asked, which in a written format, asked, right? So the same like rise, but we don't really pronounce it rise or raise it. No, but we have the exact clear pronunciation if it is ending with TED and DED. Okay, like this. If it ends with this one, DED, TED, okay. If the words ends with TED and DED, Mr. Lofensa, you have to pronounce it very, very, very clear. Okay, what about this word? Please pronounce it for me. Oh, sorry. Yes, this word.
Visited.
Visited. Nice. Very, 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 very clear. Visited. Okay, this one.
Reminded.
Reminded. Okay, this one.
Excited.
Excited. Okay, what about this one?
Was.
Yeah, that is nice, Mr. Lovensa. Wash. You don't need to actually say wash it or something. No. You just need to go with TED at the end of the word. You need to pronounce it very, very clear. If it is beyond that, no need to pronounce. Okay. So maybe some words, for example, like this, like this, like this. How do you pronounce it?
Improve.
Yeah, people will understand that it will be improved, which means akan ditingkatkan, right? So you need to say it will be improved for something. No, we don't pronounce it like that way. So beyond TED and DED, you don't need to pronounce. Okay, so amazing. I think you can now practice again. So let me just go again. Wait a minute. This one. Okay, this is the first word I see. I notice. And what about the next? We have this one is nice, Mr. Lovensa. You pronounce it clearly. And what about this one?
Policies.
Okay. We do have country
Policies.
policies. Both of them is incorrect. Mr.
Oh.
Lovensa. So both of them is not are, okay? Both of them, even like two, but just because we use the word both, it is. So both of them is incorrect because we pronounce it policy. So policies with ES, yeah, policy, like country policy, country rules, country regulations. So we do have policies, we do have regulations, we do have rules, right? So we pronounce it policies. So that's the thing. And that is great for now. Okay, this one we go with TE. If this is N with ED, what will be the pronunciation, Mr. Lovensa?
Communicated.
Yes, communicated. What about this one?
Transform.
Yeah, transform. Just common, and only a little bit thicker pronunciation, but not really clear. You need to pronounce it like transform it. No, transform, as you said. That's nice. And yeah, for after fixing this, I believe you will get above 50. Let me see. Can you reread that again? I love your comma and full stop, Mr. Lovensa, and the word stress is also nice and natural. So that's why I say, this is going to be above 30. Let me just again see you doing this one. Can you do it one more time, please?
Although the internet has transformed the way we communicate and access information, it has also raised concerns about privacy and data security. As people increasingly share personal information online, the risk of identity theft and misuse of data continues to grow, prompting governments and organizations to improve cybersecurity policies and regulations.
Yeah. All right, that is nice. That is going to be nice score. I believe that is going to be a nice score. Just trust me. For this one, okay, we are not native speakers, but we know how to pronounce the word. And I think from your pronunciation, the first thing is that AI can notice that because human can easily notice that you pronounce the word and there is no confusions. If I close my eyes and I hear you reading the words and I can come up with the idea, okay, I understand what you're saying. So that is how we imagine AI working behind the code, right? Behind the interface that we were working on. Right. So what you want to hear how the word is actually pronounced? Let me just play this one.
Although the internet,
Sorry, I need to share. Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear the voice?
that has
Yeah, that's
transformed
it.
the way we, although the internet has transformed the way we communicate and access information, it has also raised concerns about privacy and data security. As people increasingly share personal information online, the risk of identity theft and misuse of data continues to grow, prompting governments and organizations to improve cybersecurity policies and regulations.
Okay.
Although the
Oh,
internet...
sorry. Questions, Mr. Lovensa. Maybe not your questions, my questions to you. Do you know how English, do you know about plosive sound, Mr. Lovensa? Plosive.
Plosive sound.
Like plosive.
I don't.
You have no idea about plosive sound. So let me just explain you. Every P, yeah, every P in English is actually should be pronounced plosive, which means you kind of giving an explosive something on your mouth. So when you see the word power, yeah, when you say the word power, you have to go it's explosive as it is actually plosive sound. So power, people, privacy, policies, and those are PPP, prompting. So you have to go personal, right? There's a plosive sound that you need to follow how native speakers use the pronunciation or do the pronunciation, Mr. Lofansa. So can you just have yourself to pronounce the word practice? Can you repeat after me? Practice.
Practice.
Yes, practice. And the next we have power.
Power.
That is right. So it's more on like giving
More energy.
plosive sound. Yeah, that is to get higher score. So there is also, if you listen to the audio, you will see every P has plosive sound. Let me repeat again.
And has transformed the way we communicate and act. Although the internet has transformed the way we communicate and access information, it has also raised concerns about privacy and data security.
Right.
As people increasingly share personal information online, the risk of identity theft and misuse of data continues to grow, prompting governments and organizations to improve cybersecurity policies and regulations.
Okay. So only in the word policy that they don't really go with the stress, but this is the example of 90. So meaning 100. If you can do it like this, based on the recordings, so you will get 90 of PTE score. But that is impossible. That is impossible for us. Yeah. We are not coming from English-speaking country. We are Indonesians. And I think to get 90 for PTE, that is still possible. But to go all with 90, I don't think so. So that's the thing. Right. So every P, like privacy, personal, prompting. But here, the policy is not pronounced policy. But I believe policy should be pronounced policy, like power, right? So that's the thing. So what about if we practice the second one? Let me just delete that one first. Okay. Remember about the P, remember about the comma, remember about SSS, and remember about, okay, let me just see the way you pronounce the word. We're gonna see, Mr. Lofensa. What about?
Okay.
Yeah, try it whenever you're ready. Yes.
Yes. Climate change is primarily driven by human activities such as burning fossil fuels, deforestation, and industrial emissions. These actions release large amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, trapping heat and causing global temperatures to rise. As a result, we face more extreme weather patterns, rising sea levels, and threats to biodiversity.
This is not 30. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Lopensa, but this one is not 30. Why? Let me just tell you. The first thing is that I like when you go with SSS at the back of the word, but there are many mispronounced words for this one. The first, okay, let me just go with this one. How do you pronounce this, Mr. Lopensa?
Industrial.
Yes. Yeah, we have two pronunciation for the words. You can go with industrial, you can go with industrial. If you see some parts of, even some parts in the US, for example, you're coming from Florida, you're coming from the New York, for example, they go with different pronunciation. They say industry and some others says industry. So it's okay. For this one, it's okay. Okay. So if you see if you maybe hear some students, some friends talking about industrial or industrial, it's okay. Do not correct them because it's also native speakers using the same language, the same pronunciations. All right. And when you pronounce this one, these, okay, this is actually quite nice, but maybe a little bit longer. These actions. So there is a stop a little bit in here. These actions, as you said, you pronounce the S, very nice. I can hear it very clear. And the gases as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Lofensa. And trapping heat and causing global temperatures. Okay, two pronunciation for the word temperature. Which one do you prefer? Temperatures or temperature?
Temperatures.
Okay, temperatures. Okay, that is American pronunciation. Temperatures to, you can say to rise or to rise last time.
Tourist.
Tourist is something about tourism, but this one is to rise, I believe, Mr. Lofensa. To rise. Yeah.
To rise.
As a result, we face more extreme weather patterns, rising. So this is rising sea levels. And I heard this word is a little bit mistaken. Can you go again, Mr. Lofensa? Again?
Treats.
With no I, please. No treat. Treat is when you treat someone. For example, like this. I will treat you to eat that. Or what about we go with the treatment today? Treatment. It is not treatment. This is not treat. Yeah. This is threats. Threats, Mr. Lofensa. Threats. Yeah.
Threats.
Ancaman, right? Threats. That's amazing. Threats. Okay. Threats. How do you read this one?
To biodiversity.
Yeah. Okay, we go with biodiversity and bio. Those two pronunciation acceptable. The same like industry and industry, bio and bio. That's okay. Some people might say biology, yes. Biology, yes. Do not say, oh, that is actually wrong because my pronunciation is actually biology. No, you haven't learned further. So that's why people are so much judgmental of the word bio and bio, Mr. Lofensa. We accept two pronunciation for bio and bio. So make sure you can choose either one of them, okay? Mr. Lofensa?
Okay.
Right. So why didn't I give you 30 or upper 30? I go with below 30 because some words is, needed to be really corrected, meaning if you want to get 40, so at least you can go with deeper understanding of the words. Let me just give you an example of how to read this, okay, Mr. Lofensa? So climate change is primarily, okay, this one is hard for you maybe. Can you repeat? Can you maybe try to read that again?
Primarily.
Yeah, that's nice. But last time not primarily, last time primary. You said it primary. What was your pronunciation? Last time I heard it is different.
Primary.
So primarily. Yeah.
Okay.
Primarily driven. So you can say driven. Yes, you can say driven as well. Driven by human activities such as burning fossil fuels, deforestations, and industrial emissions. These actions release large amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, trapping heat and causing global temperatures to rise. As a result, we face more extreme weather patterns, rising sea levels, and threats to biodiversity. So that's the pronunciation. Want to hear the example of 90 score of the PTE? This is the example of 90.
Climate change is primarily driven by human activities such as burning fossil fuels, deforestation, and industrial emissions. These actions release large amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, trapping heat and causing global temperatures to rise. As a result, we face more extreme weather patterns, rising sea levels, and threats to biodiversity.
Threats. Okay.
Threats.
So that's 90. Yes, that's 90. So if you, what is your major in your university, Mr. Lofensa? What was your major in your university?
I
or you have an
and electrical technology.
electrical technology? Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Electrical technology is the same like electrical engineering? No?
Yeah, it's same,
Oh, it's the same.
but in
All right.
automotive.
Oh, it's in automotive. Okay.
Mhm.
So you've been like working with machines? Sorry, you've been
Yeah,
like working with the electricity streams or something, Mr.
yeah.
Lovensa?
For
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's
heavy
great.
equipment vehicle.
Oh, what was that?
Heavy equipment vehicle.
Wow, EV equipment vehicles. That's nice because we don't pronounce the word vehicles. We pronounce it vehicles. That is nice, Mr. Lovensa. And you work with the EV, which means electrical vehicles. And okay, let me ask you these questions. What makes electric vehicles different with the hybrid? Because we have hybrid with the same battery, and we also can use the gas or the gasoline. Then why is it different with completely EV, like EV, completely like a complete EV, just EV in the car? What makes it different?
The difference is
Tell me
for
just a bit,
hybrid.
maybe.
Hybrid maybe for the first start we using fuel for the machine and
Machine, yes.
yeah, machine, and after the unit the machine running, the motor is working with the electrical system.
Oh, okay.
and
So that's
and for electrical vehicle EV, we call EV, it's not
the EV.
uses gas, not uses the fuel for the machine. We use the motor. Usually, if you know how to play Tamiya, it's like the machine is dynamo. It's like for the
Oh
EV.
yeah, got it, got it. So
Not
that's the
using
starting.
engine. Not using engine.
Okay. But how long will it take? I mean, sometimes we go with the hybrid car because we're thinking about we're gonna bring the car not in the usage of no, we're not going to be around the city only,
Mhm.
but we're gonna go sometimes to the countryside, right, Mr.
Yeah.
Lopez? Then we're thinking about I want to go to Bandung, but I am going to buy EV. Should I buy EV? Should I buy hybrid, or should I buy the common car that use only the gasoline car? The what is that? The combustion engine.
Solution.
Yo, I know my pronunciation
Mhm.
sometimes bad. Yeah, combustion. Yeah.
I prefer to use the maybe for the hybrid because in Indonesia we have a little bit for charging system for EV.
Right. So, what university were you in, Mr. Lovensa?
Actually, I after I graduated from my vocational high school, I have requited by
Huh?
the Australian company, and they have to make me study in Central Queensland University.
Queensland. Wow, nice. Got it.
Queensland.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And it's the study system is for like hybrid. I'm studying in Indonesia in the training center. Also with working roster. After my studying finish, I'm going to the site location mining.
Okay, wow. The mining one. All right, that's great. Those wow. This is a very nice information I can get from you. So thank you very much for the willingness of sharing. All right, Mr.
Mhm.
Lovensa. I appreciate
Yep.
it a lot. And we're gonna go on with the next. And I think the tips is only to pay attention to the comma and the full stop as well as the pronunciation of every word. So maybe make sure one of the tips to go with the question number 3 is that you have sometimes to underline the word that you think it is going to be difficult to pronounce. For example, you have this word accessibility. So accessibility is a it's quite hard word. Sometimes people will stop here and access CC, for example. Then Then
Yeah.
when you have that time to prepare while waiting for the reading audio, or sorry, the reading recordings will start later on for your speaking, then you will have some time to underline some words. So you go with the skimming, just read all the things, skimming, just one through, and okay, I think engagement will be my next word. It is completely difficult. And balancing, make sure I pronounce the word balancing, not so the words not balance or something. And this one is not digital, but it is digital, right?
Digital.
So you note everything. Yeah, you note everything. Then at the end, when the time start, you are ready to pronounce all the words. So that is one of the tips as well, Mr. Lofansa. For example, the word commitments. So we have the S. Remember, you talk to yourself. Remember, at the end of the word commitments, there is S. I need to pronounce the S. So this is another way of how AI, score you, because sometimes people don't really pronounce the S of the words. For example, they only go with virtual classrooms. We didn't hear the S. We should
Yeah.
have the S very clear. Virtual classrooms and blended learning models. So that's the thing, right? So, right. So do you want to try for this third part, Mr. Lovensa? Yeah, take your time and see.
Yeah.
Maybe some words will be a little bit difficult, or just try it
Yes.
by chance. By any chance, you're okay to try.
Yeah. Ready to read.
Yeah. Nice. Take your time and yes, get started whenever you're ready.
Universities around the world are adapting to digital learning by incorporating online platforms, virtual classrooms, and blended learning models. This change aims to increase accessibility and flexibility for students, especially those balancing for work or family commitments. However, concerns remain about engagement and the digital divide.
Okay. This one, well, I might go with some words that you really need to pay attention for the pronunciation, as well as the S of the back of the word, Mr. Lopensa. Change, but again, we need the S. I know you said this change, but we need the very clear ES at the end. These changes. So that's the pronunciation.
Okay.
These
Change.
changes, yes, these changes aim to increase accessibility and flexibility for students. This one is especially. So I heard you pronounce it specifically. Sorry, what was your pronunciation? That was not especially. That was a little different word you pronounced. So I said, okay, we need
Especially.
to. Yeah, especially. So that's the pronunciation. What was your pronunciation, Mr. Lovensa? Do you still remember about this word?
I little bit confused. So my pronunciation is maybe going wrong.
Right. But that's okay. Wow. And this one is actually we call that as demonstrative pronoun that changes based on the number of something that you point. For example, you want to point commitments with S, so the word these becomes those. So especially those balancing work or family commitments, right? However, concerns remain about engagement and digital divide, and the digital divide, sorry. And this one is the exact pronunciation. And I like because you pronounce this word incorporating is actually nice pronunciations, and blended learning models and some other things. Right. So this can be going about 30 for this one, but our targets will be 50, right, Mr. Lovensa? So make sure universities around the world are adapting to digital learnings by incorporating online platforms, virtual classrooms, and blended learning models. These changes aim to increase accessibility and flexibility for students, especially those balancing work or family commitments. However, concerns remains about engagements and the digital divides. So if you can do it slowly, clearly, and easy to follow, and the S, comma, and full stop sounds little bit clear, and I think you can get about 50 for this one. Yes. So we're gonna hear the questions 3.
Universities around the world are adapting to digital learning by incorporating online platforms, virtual classrooms, and blended learning models. These changes aim to increase accessibility and flexibility for students, especially those balancing work or family commitments. However, concerns remain about engagement and the digital divide.
Okay, right. So, yeah, maybe 3 for this one. Do we need to finish this one? Yeah, we need to finish the first simulation so that you have you will have more time later on to practice. After this, are you using your tablet or you're using your laptop, Mr. Lofensa?
After this, for what?
Oh no. Are you now using my question, sorry. Are you now using the tab or your laptop?
I'm using tablet.
Tablets. Will tablet be able to access the website I sent you after this? Yeah, I'm going to send you a specific website that we also use for PTE practice. So later on, I will ask you to share screen and do the simulations of read aloud. So I'm going to see the exact score from AI. How far is your score, or how big is your score, or how small? Because that is going to be my note for the next meeting. So if you have an access to a laptop, will be so much convenient, because tablets interface and laptop interface is just a bit different, Mr. Lovensa. But that's okay. We're gonna try first, okay? No worries. You don't need to change any devices now. Yeah. So
because I don't bring my laptop also, because I think laptops is no efficient for me to bring for traveling. So
everywhere, actually, yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So just using tablet
I
for
agree.
maybe for the screen for more bigger. Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah, yes. That's great. Even yeah, that's completely okay. I mean, that's completely okay for me, but I hope maybe you can actually do Zoom and Zoom in, Zoom out, right? Right? So Lovensa, I mean, that's okay for me, but not maybe for the reading later on. But that's okay. If you can do it like Zoom in, Zoom out, that's okay. Right? It will take more efforts for you to learn. That's okay. Right. What about number 4? We're gonna finish maybe until number 5. We're gonna go after this to practice. And you are going to share your screen. Yes.
Okay.
What about number 4, Ms. Lovensa? What will be your next word, which is maybe quite difficult for you to pronounce? I'm going to help you to pronounce it first. Then, this one is not that difficult, I believe. Right?
Purpose.
The Darwin theory.
Purpose is that true?
Yeah,
Purpose.
propose. Yeah.
No ed.
Per. No ed. Yes, no ed. No propose it, no, but propose.
Purpose.
Yeah. Propose. Yeah. Like we do have the word proposals, right? So propose is the word here.
Okay. Evolve. Pages. Evolve.
No.
Is that good? Evolve.
For which one? Oh, this one, evolve.
Pages.
Yes, completely right.
Suggest. Yeah.
Spacious. Sorry, suggest with S. Suggests that spacious evolve over time.
So let's survive. Sweet. The best sweet. No ed. Sweeted or
Yes.
sweeted.
Yeah,
ED.
I have told you, right? I
Yeah.
have told you TED, DED. Very, very clear. Do not feel doubt, because that's the theory. TED, DED, clear. Okay,
Okay.
Mr.
Okay.
If you hear someone correcting you, TED should not be clear. No, they are mistaken. You are the correct one. I mean, I have mastered linguistics, so don't worry. I have the ability to explain everything in here. Yes. Suited, not suited, suited. So that's the thing. Suggested. If you have this one with ED, so suggested. My manager suggested me to work on this field, right? So that's the thing. Right. Good, no worries. No need to be worried about such a suited.
Oh, okay. Be clear.
Right. All right. I love the confidence. I love the confidence. Right. Your time.
Okay. I try to read now.
Okay.
The theory of evolution by natural selections, proposed by Charles Darwin, suggests that species evolve over time through the survival of individuals best suited to their environment. This process leads to gradual changes in traits across generations, shaping the diversity of life on Earth as we know it today.
Wow. Congratulations. Wow. I mean, this is beyond 60. This is beyond 60. This is not even wow. I was surprised because you know what? Almost all the words as acceptable based on my listening, and I can understand that fully. I mean, without reading it, I can understand that fully that you're talking about this specific things. No correction for this one, maybe on the diversity and diversity, right? So you might have a confusion on which one should be the pronunciation, diversity or diversity. Those the same like industry and industry, acceptable, Mr. Lofensa. So no need to worry about that. Environment is actually nice. I was waiting, maybe you will pronounce environment a little bit different, but you pronounce it nicely. And generations with S, yeah, gradual changes, and those are just great, you know. All right, so let us just listen to the example of 90 score.
The theory of evolution by natural selection, proposed by Charles Darwin, suggests that species evolve over time through the survival of individuals best suited to their environment. This process leads to gradual changes in traits across generations, shaping the diversity of life on Earth as we know it today.
Yes, sorry. This one is diversity in these recordings, and diversity in some recordings you will face later on in the future. So diversity and diversity. So those are accepted pronunciations. But I'm a little bit confused when, let me just hear it one more time.
Theory of evolution by natural selection, proposed by Charles Darwin, suggests that species evolve.
So this one like evolve, but no, it's evolve. Evolve and evolve is the pronunciation. Can be from British and American, Mr. Lofensa. So evolve, your pronunciation is already great in here. And what else?
Over time through the survival of individuals best suited to their environment.
It should be very clear. You can say suited or sweeted. No, no worries. But at least you have to pronounce the ed very clear.
ED. Sweet.
This process leads to gradual changes in traits across generations, shaping the diversity of life on Earth as we know it today.
As we know it today. There is no mistakes from your side. Amazing. Number 5. If you take sometimes again like what you have done just now, Mr. Lofensa, maybe you can do it far more better. Maybe 90.
Okay, let me try. Maybe...
Wow, okay. Why not? Why not? Take it.
Okay. Renewable energy sources like wind, solar, and hydroelectric power are increasingly being adopted as sustainable alternatives to fossil fuels. Not only do they reduce carbon emissions, but they also contribute to long-term energy security. Governments and industries are investing heavily in green technologies to meet the climate goals.
Okay, that is for sure above 30. But I couldn't go with 50 because there is a simple word that you pronounce a little bit wrong, Mr. Lofensa. There is a simple word that you pronounce a little bit wrong. How do you pronounce this one?
Wine. Wine. Win.
You don't say wine.
Win.
We drink wine.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
we drink
Win.
wine. but
Yeah. I forget.
Yes. Yeah,
Win.
right.
Yeah.
If you go
Win.
wrong with several simple words, Mr. Lovensa, the AI will tell that you try to memorize, and even a simple word that is common word every day, but you pronounce it a little bit wrong, you cannot get 50. So that is the scoring they have. So that's why we have the topic of when we say agak berangin ya hari ini, for example, it's a little bit windy today, right? Windy, not windy,
Yeah.
because
Windy.
wine is something that we drink, right? So do you enjoy drinking wine, Mr. Lovett? So for example, like that. So wine is
Yeah.
right. So which is great, right?
Also,
So next.
I have question
Okay,
for
I want you to register. Let me.
wait, let me asking you about one word.
Right now.
Alternative, is that good? Alternative, no es, alternative or alternatives.
No, alternatives. So S
Oh,
S
so
the S not alternatives, but with S not a S. Even the
my
S of
pronunciation before
okay,
is good.
because
My
yeah,
pronunciation.
I can tell that your pronunciation for the
Okay.
alternatives is okay. Alternatives, yeah. To fossil fuels, not only do they reduce carbon emissions, but they also contribute to long-term energy security, as your pronunciation goes.
Yeah.
Governments, and this one is industries. I believe you pronounce industry. That's okay. I follow industries or industry. That's actually okay. Are investing heavily in green technologies to meet climate goals. And I hear that you also pronounce the S at the end of the word, right?
Okay.
So the only simple word that I think we need correction
Win.
is the word win, which is pronounced as wine, the drinking wine, the hydroelectric power. And this is the hardest word, I believe, but you pronounce it nicely. Hydroelectric. Okay, some people might have problem with that. Security is also nice from your side. Maybe you've been like working with the word security so far.
Yeah.
And let us listen to the example of the answer, okay, Mr. Lovensa?
Okay.
Renewable energy sources like wind, solar, and hydroelectric power are increasingly being adopted as sustainable alternatives to fossil fuels. Not only do they reduce carbon emissions, but they also contribute to long-term energy security. Governments and industries are investing heavily in green technologies to meet climate goals.
Okay, wow. This is native speakers. So that's why the score is 90, right? Native speaker can do it because it's 90. That is they expect us to speak like that, but sometimes it's hard to get 90. Maybe 86 will be the maximum score for me, Mr. Lofensa.
Testing English course, where preparation meets performance.